Hey everyone, welcome to your hips stretching class. Today we're going to focus on really stretching out the hips. So what you'll need today is a mat, and I recommend 2 pillows. You may need them, you may not, but it's better to have them than not have them. And yeah, that's it. So grab your pillows, grab your mat, let's get stretching. All right guys, the first stretch that we're gonna do is a butterfly or bound angle pose. If you have some hip mobility issues, which I'm sure we all do, it's really nice to sit on a pillow with this. So you can sit up and that will help get your hips in a more comfortable position for you to do this stretch. So go ahead and set your pillow up, get your feet together. You can bring the feet as forward as you'd like, and then just go ahead and start to press just go ahead and start to press the elbows into the knees and start to feel that stretch. And you can close your eyes here. These are going to be long stretches for us today, so just relax into this class and enjoy. Make adjustments as you need. Try to keep the back a bit straighter than you may traditionally do in this pose. So instead of leaning and rounding way forward, just hinge forward at the hips and keep that spinal integrity there, and just focus on opening up the hips. Deep breathing here, so really take some nice deep inhales. Exhale it all the way out, empty all that air out. All right, go ahead, take a deep breath and come out of the pose. The next thing we're gonna do is a cow face pose. So to get into this, you can stay seated on your pillow. What you're gonna do is cross one leg under, one leg over, and the goal here is to get the knees to touch. I know that that is not very accessible for everybody. So in order to do this and make it easier, take that second pillow and put it wherever you need to be able to relax into this pose and start to get the knees lined up. So let's go ahead and relax into this pose. Sometimes it takes a while to find the adjustments that you need to make these stretches easiest for you. And if this is really tough for you, you can kick that bottom leg out. Hands are at the sides. You can even put them on the feet if that feels nice for you. And just remember deep breathing. Can make some tiny adjustments through the hips, either rolling forward or side to side, just these little micro movements to see where you feel the tightest in your hips. And once you find one of those spots, then just really breathe into that spot. All right, slowly come up. We're just gonna switch legs. So whatever you did on this side, go ahead and just switch the legs around. You'll probably have one hip that's a lot tighter than the other. I know I certainly do. And then just do what you need. Adjust with your pillow, adjust with the feet. Like I said before, you can kick that bottom leg out if it's just too much. Do what works for you here. All right, let's relax into the pose. Remember to breathe. All right, go ahead and slowly come out of this pose. We're gonna work on the hip flexors next. So come to a lunge. So my right foot is forward. Adjust so that the pillow is under your left knee. And then we are just going to lean forward into the stretch here. So into a lunge, the focus is on the hip flexor, and just adjust whatever's comfortable for you here. So sometimes, I like to put my elbow on my knee here and just kind of lean into it, but keep your chest up, shoulders up, and just enjoy this stretch. And each time that you take a deep breath and exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Don't forget your deep breathing. Come back to that if your mind has wandered off. Okay, go ahead and come out of that stretch. Now we're gonna switch to a hamstring stretch. So leave the right foot forward. All you're gonna do is kick that leg out a bit, bring the toe up, and then lean forward. So hinge at the hips, lean forward into it for a hamstring stretch. And just as before, nice, long, steady, deep breaths. Getting oxygen into the body, into the muscles. Play around with what feels best for your stretch here. So that could include feeling like you're pulling the kneecap up, and that'll intensify the stretch a bit. Remember, no slouching, so keep that back straight. All right, let's go ahead and come out of that pose. And we are going to switch to the other leg. So right knee that was out, go ahead and put that on your pillow. Left leg is now forward, and let's sink into that nice hip flexor stretch. So knees down, and we're just leaning forward here. So focusing on the hip flexor. You'll get some quads stretch in this as well. So back is up, shoulders are down. And as we've been doing, continue to breathe into it. Remember, with each deep breath, try to sink a little bit more into the pose. Let the body know it's okay to relax. One last deep breath in. And exhale it all the way, and let's transition to our hamstring stretch. So just go ahead and bring the hips back, kick that foot forward, and then start to hinge at the waist until you feel wherever you need your hamstring stretch to go. Remember, you can pull that kneecap up to feel it a bit more intense. Remember to hinge at the hips, keeping the back straight. We're not just folding over, we're still working on balance and making sure that everything stays in its proper alignment even though we're stretching. If you have some yoga blocks, you can bring those too. I don't have any today, but it just reminded me, since this side is much tighter for me, it'd be nice to have some blocks to be propped up on. Remember your deep breathing. Check in with the back, make sure you're not rounding. All right, go ahead and come out of that pose. So we're gonna come to a seated position. So go ahead and move the pillow and lay flat on your back. Go ahead and bring the left leg up and over so that the bottom of your foot is facing me. And then that foot, just go ahead and drop it to the floor. So we're doing this kind of figure 4 twist. And then just let the back relax into it. Let this nice, gentle spinal twist happen. Your hands can go wherever is comfortable for you. So if you feel like you need to guide the leg, that's fine. You can just relax them to the side. You can put them out, whatever feels good for you. Just relax into this pose. I like to push my leg out a bit. It feels a nice stretch through my hip in addition to the nice, gentle twist. So find what works for you in this pose. All right, start to come out of this pose. Just bring your legs back up. And then same position, we're just gonna switch legs. So bring the other leg across again, like a figure 4. The bottom of the foot that's up, just drop it to the ground. And then get into your relaxing pose here. All right, go ahead and come out of this pose and come up to a seated position in whatever way works for you. Grab your pillows, and we are going to do a fire log pose or double pigeon, depends on how you, or what you want to call it. So I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to explain some modifications, because this one is pretty tough if you have limited hip mobility, and I certainly do. So one foot is going to be on the ground, and the idea is to have the shins parallel. So you'll have a shin trying to be parallel to the ground, and then you will bring the other one, the knee and the ankle are aligned, and then you are working eventually to get the shins stacked on one another. This is really uncomfortable, and I know this. And it's been a long time to try to even get to where I am. So to start, I recommend throwing a pillow under there. You can take that second pillow also, like we were seated before, and sit on it. And then do your pose that way, and then include that pillow here, so you can actually relax. So you shouldn't be uncomfortable. There shouldn't be any pain or anything associated with this pose. We are just opening up the hips in a different way. So find what modification works and start to settle into your fire log pose. Again, you can hinge forward at the hips. No rounding, spine should stay straight, and just breathe into wherever you feel the most intensity is during this stretch. All right, go ahead and come out of that side. Let's go ahead and switch. So again, whatever modifications you need. And one thing I wanted to note is the rotation in this comes from the hips. So if you are putting pressure on your knees, that's not the right thing to do. So the knee joint only goes forward and back. It doesn't do the rotation that the hips have. So when you're trying to get here, it's not a pushing the knee so that it goes down. It's working on the hip rotation so that the femur goes down closer to the ground or to the other foot, which is eventually what we're trying to get some mobility back in. So I just wanted to note that in case you were feeling it in the knee at all. So go ahead and get into your pose again. And let's get our final relaxation on for this class. Nice deep breaths. Relax into it. You should feel this stretch, but you should be doing modifications enough so that it's not painful. Nothing that we do should ever be painful. All right, nice deep breath. Exhale it all out. Let's do that one more time. Inhale all the way in. Exhale it all the way out. Go ahead and untwist yourself, unpretzel yourself. You guys, thank you so much for joining me on this hip stretch class. I hope your hips feel much better, and I will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.